nominated Liesl Nelson because of her contribution to both treatment courts and also to the Wisconsin Association of Treatment Court Professionals. For years, she's been known for her leadership and advocacy in treatment courts, but she should also be recognized for her really transformative efforts when it comes to WATCP. Elliot Levine will talk about how WATCP had very humble beginnings, and they were almost a ragtag bunch, and how the first year that they had a conference, they didn't even have enough lunches to be able to cover everyone. But through Liesl's efforts over the decade that she was with WATCP, it really moved from those humble beginnings to the professional organization that you all see here today. And by doing that, she's been able to really expand the training and advocacy that takes place for treatment courts across the state of Wisconsin. Quite frankly, but for her efforts, you wouldn't be sitting watching this video right now at a conference where WATCP is able to provide you with really world-class presenters and trainers, along with 500 to 600 other members of the treatment court community.
Liesl was so important for this process to happen. She kept us organized, kept us going. Not that we didn't have some organization before, but it really did to make a giant transition from the initial group of people of 100, 200 people who would get together to all of a sudden 500 to 600 people getting together.
In addition to that, she worked on the standards, the Wisconsin Treatment Court standards that were published both in 2014 and 2018, so that treatment courts across the state could have a model that they could use that was based on research and best practice. We've always had the national model and the national standards, but she was able to help the team put together the state standards that really focused treatment courts on the laws and practices in Wisconsin.
She has the ability not only to bring up the issues that we need to talk about, how we talk about shortcomings not only of participants, but also the shortcomings of the court. And her willingness to confront those and bring it to the front was not only important for those teams, but also, frankly, for the entire state of Wisconsin with the association. And that's what the Aulik board is really about, is recognizing that leadership across the state that makes treatment courts better, not only for us, but really for our participants ultimately.
The emphasis shifted during my time on the board to really making sure that the treatment courts in existence were able to have the tools that they needed to start adhering more to local standards, but also the national standards that were coming out. Much of the work that I did was not just for the board, but also in getting the standards written and out. Not so much the training. I think Department of Justice really handled a lot of the training with those standards, but it was really important at that time that we felt like people had the training that they need to make sure that they were applying those standards effectively.
Before I started, I didn't know Liesl very well at all. I had lunch with Bob Wink, who was he was stepping off the bench. He had a long career there as Pierce County Circuit Judge. And one of the things that he said very quickly into the conversation is how much he thought of Liesl Nelson. He said that he had been very fortunate to work with her over the course of his career when she was working as public defender in Pierce County. And he was telling me that I would be very fortunate to work with her as well, because she was and is an excellent attorney. She represents her clients very well, a straight shooter. So I got to know her what I think is pretty well. And I would say without any reservation that what Judge Wing said to me was absolutely true.
I could always rely on her to tell me something wasn't right. And that's something I really appreciate about her friendship, her intelligence, her wisdom about how to approach what we are doing as WATCP and as far as treatment courts.
When I heard that Liesl was being nominated for the Aulik Award, it certainly comes as no surprise to me. Who I know Liesl to be through the work that we've done together directly in a treatment court, but who I know Liesl to have been as a contributor to the start of WATCP as an organization and to the advancement of the standards, both in the state level and nationally as well. Through all of the meetings, the long nights, all of the work that she did with the standards, it is, again, no surprise that this nomination was brought forth, and I can't think of anyone more deserving of this year's Aulik Award than Liesl Nelson. My time on the board and my time in treatment court has been some of the best experiences that I've had as a criminal defense attorney. I've been awfully honored to work with some wonderful individuals across the state. I know these last several years have been particularly challenging. So it's been a great many years watching WATCP grow, watching treatment courts expand and perfect their craft across the state, and then watching resilience in really difficult times as people try to maintain the high standards of their courts and serving the populations that need us.
If it wasn't for her willingness to always challenge, we wouldn't be as good as we are. And I think we're a better association. We're better treatment court providers because of Liesl.
Thank you, Liesl, for everything that you have done over the years for both WATCP and treatment courts across the state. And congratulations on your